Picture this. You are standing on a packed platform at Shinjuku Station in Tokyo, one of the busiest train stations on the entire planet. Thousands of people rushing, trains arriving every 2 minutes, noise everywhere, and right in the middle of all of that chaos, a small boy named Leo, no older than 3, suddenly drops to the floor and starts crying. His mother, Mia, does not panic. She does not grab him by the arm. She does not bribe him with candy or shove a screen in his face. She does not hiss through her teeth or shoot embarrassed glances at the strangers around her. She simply kneels down to his level, places one calm hand on his back, and waits, steady, present, unhurried. Like she already knows exactly how this ends. And here is the thing. She does. Because in Japan, this kind of calm is not rare. It is not a personality type. It is not luck. It is the result of a parenting philosophy that has been quietly passed down for generations, one that does not rely on punishment, fear, or control to shape a child's behavior. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly how it works, with 3 tools you can bring into your home starting tonight. Now, before you say it, yes, Japan has a different culture. Yes, the language is different, the schools are different, the social norms are different. But here is what researchers from some of the world's leading universities have discovered after decades of studying child development across cultures. The core principles behind why Japanese children are consistently among the calmest, most emotionally regulated kids on the planet are not cultural secrets locked behind a language barrier. They are deeply human truths rooted in developmental psychology, and they work regardless of where you live or how you were raised. The reason Japanese parents do not need to yell, threaten, or punish the way many Western parents feel forced to is because they are operating from a completely different starting point. They are not trying to stop bad behavior, they are building the internal capacity to prevent it. And it all begins with one single word that changes everything about how you see your child. That word is Shitsuke. In Japanese, it is written with 2 characters, one meaning body, one meaning beauty. Together they translate to something that sounds almost poetic, to attach beauty to the body, not discipline through fear, not obedience through punishment, beauty. The goal of Shitsuke is to raise a child who behaves well not because they are scared of what happens if they don't, but because good behavior has become woven into who they are. Think about how radically different that is from the way most of us were raised. In many Western homes, the system works like this. The child misbehaves, the parent reacts, a consequence is issued, and everyone moves on until it happens again tomorrow. We are always chasing the behavior after it shows up. Japanese parents ask a different question entirely. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? They ask, what skill is my child missing right now? Because here is the truth that changes everything. Children do not act out to ruin your day. They act out because they genuinely lack a skill. Emotional regulation, patience, the ability to communicate frustration with words instead of a meltdown. These are not things children are born knowing how to do. They must be taught. And the moment you shift from punishing what you do not want to teaching what is missing, the entire relationship between you and your child transforms. You stop being the enforcer and you become the guide. This is tool number 1. Teach the missing skill, do not just punish the behavior. And it starts with one simple habit. Every time your child acts out, before you react, pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself quietly, what does my child not yet know how to do in this moment? Is it how to wait without losing control? Is it how to express anger without screaming? Is it how to handle disappointment without shutting down? Name the skill. Then, at a calm moment, not in the middle of the chaos, teach it, practice it, model it. Japanese parents don't wait for the storm to teach the lesson. They build the skill before the storm ever arrives. That is why Mia on that platform in Shinjuku looked so calm. She was not managing a crisis. She had already been preparing Leo for moments like this for months. Now let's talk about tool number 2, and this one will challenge you. It challenged me when I first heard it. It is called Mimamoru. Mimamoru is a Japanese philosophy of parenting that translates to watch over while protecting. It is the deliberate, loving decision to resist the urge to jump in and fix every hard moment your child experiences. In the West, we are conditioned to solve fast. Child struggles, we step in. Child cries, we rescue. Child fails, we catch them before they fall. And we do it from a place of real love. Nobody is doing it wrong on purpose. But here is the unintended message that gets sent every single time we rush in. You cannot handle this without me. And over time, that message becomes the child's inner voice. Japanese parents do something that feels uncomfortable at first, but produces extraordinary results. They pause, they observe, they hold back just long enough to give the child the chance to try. Not coldly, not without care, but with a deep, steady belief that their child has more capacity than the moment might suggest. And when the child works through even a fraction of that difficulty on their own, something powerful happens inside them. Real confidence. Not the hollow kind that comes from constant praise and gold stars, the kind that comes from actually doing something hard and surviving it. Developmental psychologists call this productive struggle, and study after study confirms it is one of the most reliable predictors of emotional resilience in children. So the next time your child is frustrated, overwhelmed, or struggling, try this. Count to 10 silently before you intervene. Give them the gift of that window. You will be amazed at what they discover they are capable of. Here is where most people's assumptions about Japanese parenting completely fall apart. Because when you hear calm children and no punishment, the brain immediately jumps to strict household, cold atmosphere, rigid rules. The reality is the complete opposite. Tool number 3 is built entirely on warmth, and it is called Amae. Amae loosely translates to the feeling of being completely safe in another person's love. In the earliest years of a child's life, Japanese mothers are extraordinarily physically and emotionally close to their children. Co-sleeping is common. Constant physical closeness is normal. The child is never made to feel emotionally alone, and this is not spoiling. This is not weakness. This is neuroscience. Because what brain research consistently shows is that a child who feels deeply and securely attached to their caregiver develops a nervous system that is fundamentally more capable of self-regulation. When a child knows without any doubt that love is not conditional, that it will not be withdrawn as a punishment, they do not need to act out to get attention. They do not need to push limits to feel secure. The emotional safety built in those early years becomes the literal neurological foundation from which self-discipline grows naturally. Warmth first, structure second, always in that order. You cannot build real discipline on a foundation of fear. You can only build it on a foundation of connection. And that connection is then reinforced daily through something beautifully simple, ritual and responsibility. You may have heard that in many Japanese schools, children clean their own classrooms every single day without being told, without adult supervision, without reward. No janitors, just children, small brooms, and a shared sense of duty. That is not coincidence. From as young as 3 and 4 years old, Japanese children are given small daily responsibilities, packing their own bag, setting the table, caring for their belongings, not because the parents need the help, but because these small repeated acts of contribution do something extraordinary over time. They shape identity. When a child sets the table every single night, they stop thinking of themselves as someone who needs to be told what to do. They start thinking of themselves as someone who contributes, someone who is capable, someone who belongs to something. And identity, once formed, drives behaviour more powerfully than any punishment or reward system ever could. Rules change behaviour temporarily. Identity changes it permanently. So here is what you do this week. Pick one small daily ritual and introduce it without pressure, without fanfare, and without a reward attached. Maybe your child packs their school bag every evening before bed. Maybe they place their plate in the sink after every meal. Maybe they say thank you before every dinner. Choose one. Do it every single day. Not as a chore, not as a rule, as an identity. as who your family is. Give it 3 weeks and watch what begins to shift, not just in their behaviour, but in how they carry themselves, how they speak about themselves, and how they handle the hard moments when they come. Shitsuke, Mimamoru, Amae, teach the missing skill, trust the struggle, build through connection. 3 tools, no punishment required, just intention, consistency, and the quiet belief that your child is more capable than their worst moment suggests. If this video gave you a new way to see your child, share it with one parent who needs to hear this today. And if you want more research-backed, real-world strategies for raising emotionally strong, confident and calm children, subscribe to Wise Parenting right now. We are building something here for parents who refuse to settle for just surviving and are ready to start truly thriving. I will see you in the next one.